Ohio gozaimasu, viewer. You ever play Condemn and find yourself asking for more of that supernatural stuff? How about if instead of crackheads in Chicago streets, you took on crackheads in Feudal Japan? That's exactly what you get with the upcoming title Labyrinth of the Demon King. Developed by J.R. Hudapo with Top Hat Studios Publishing, you might recognize them as the company that helped sell Casper Crow's Alyssa, another great horror title. In fact, it seems they primarily handle either horror or very cutesy games. You guys okay? Yeah, need a hug? In Labyrinth of the Demon King, the player assumes the role of a lone Ashigaru. Seems the world has gone to shit with constant war, and demons now walk in the land. Your lord was betrayed by one such demon who led the army into a trap, killing them all. Now out for revenge, you delve into the Labyrinth of the Demon King. I feel like I'm going to be saying that title a lot. The developer has come out saying he's inspired by various titles. Resident Evil and Silent Hill are there, as seems to be the case with many horror titles in recent years. However, the two that caught my eye were Kingsfield and Condemned. Well, I'm not super familiar with Kingsfield. I did grow up playing a ton of Condemned. The combat in that game is some of my favorite, but did they manage to capture it? Oh yeah, that's the good stuff. The combat of this game is basically Condemned. You utilize kicks, strikes, and blocks to beat back the demons you face. Added to this are the abilities of comboing, using status effects, and various weaponry, including ranged options. All you're missing is a god tier stun gun. But you do have magic. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Where even are we? Well, after walking through a creepy cave and encountering a local, you end up in the courtyard. Here you can interact with NPCs and pray at the shrine to save your game. It's here you learn that the Demon King can only be approached when all 4 towers have been beaten, their wardens killed, and their burdens put upon you. So into the first tower you march. Inside is a labyrinth for you to explore, secrets to find, NPCs to encounter, puzzles, quests, and of course, monsters to fight. The mainline force you'll encounter for the demo are these starving corpse-like enemies. They'll try to charge the player, picking up whatever weapons they can, and kill you. Or kill each other, as they are just as ready to go after other creatures as they are you. Well, I wouldn't say they're as good as Condemned's enemies, they manage to still be great to fight. They don't react as much with retreating, taking wild swings and whatnot. The bugs can go fuck themselves though. I did not enjoy fighting them. Too much poison. Apart from that, the style of the game is great. I love wandering the foggy outside only to go into grimy inside. Oppressive music complete with the sounds of the inhabitants makes you feel on edge constantly, especially when the sounds of fighting are really out there. What you hear might come around to hunt you. I also love the way the cutscenes were handled. I don't know what they did, if it's a frame rate, a slight blur, or something else, but the cutscenes have that PS1, PS2 grit to them. The kind I'd find in the likes of Siren or Silent Hill's CGI cutscenes. There's also a good deal of gore to the scenes. Downright grotesque beings will appear. Going back to the combat, unlike Condemned, the player isn't required to scramble to get weapons. While the enemies are forced to do this, the player instead will search out various weapons. Sometimes these will come in parts you'll need to forge, and other times they'll be simply a secret. While the demo doesn't have much, the training room shows off a giant hammer, naginata, and a full katana. Each had different status effects. A rusty katana will carry a poison debuff, while the naginata has this nifty counterattack with the butt after a successful parry. Most encounters will feature 1, 2, or at most 3 foes, but in the game's training mode, I was able to get some rather large battles going. Considering we see more than just humanoid enemies in the trailer, I wonder how large these fights may become. Keep an eye out for Labyrinth of the Demon King, because it's one of my most anticipated titles of 2025.